All right. Hey, Bahja, how are you?
Hi, I'm good.
Thank you for taking time to chat with us. We're happy to have
Oh
you.
no, thanks for having me. I'm excited.
Yes. So, just to jump right into it, I want to know from you, like, who is Bahja Rodriguez? Who is the person, behind the awesome voice and style? Um,
Oh, thank you.
yes. And also, is your normal everyday personality different from who you are on stage?
Well, I feel like Beja is just relatable. I feel like I'm fun. I feel like I'm outgoing. I feel like I'm just real. And I feel like I'm pretty much every 20, 21-year-old girl living in 2017. I just express myself differently through, my music and through my art. And a lot of people are able to, relate to me because of that.
Mhm.
I feel like on stage, I think I definitely have like moments where, not even moments, but I feel like on stage I definitely like black out. But I don't know if I would really say like I become a completely different person, like or, like I have like an alter ego,
Yeah.
because I feel like I'm pretty much just like Beja and like that whole entire thing, that whole entire person, 24/7.
Mhm.
So I don't think it's anything different. I just be lit,
Got you.
but
What sparked your interest in music at such a young age?
Well, I always liked Britney Spears. It's kind of funny when I tell this story. I've always been a fan of Britney Spears. Like, just as early as I can remember, that was my earliest. That's my earliest memory of like wanting to be like a superstar. I guess was after I saw Britney Spears and I was a big fan of her. And then once my mom saw that I was like really interested in like music and that whole thing, she started introducing me to like other females who looked the same as me, but they did music. And from there, it pretty much blossomed. Like I listened to Monica, Brandy, Mary J. Blige, Faith Evans, Lauryn Hill, like Beyonce, of course, Destiny's Child, TLC, like anything my mom SWV, like anybody that my mom would ever play in the car. Those are kind of like people that I listen to and that kind of shaped my whole, I guess, just love for music. Like once I heard those songs, I really wanted to, it was real to me that I could like make my own songs and I could be my own artist and do my own thing. So that was really when it started, and I had to be at least like 6 or 7
Okay.
maybe. I started doing music professionally when I was 12 with OMG,
Hmm.
and then from there it just blossomed into what it is right now. But that's how pretty much I got started.
Got you. And so from that point, you knew like I want singing to be my career. Like you never wanted to do anything else.
No, like I've never had like any other passion or like dream besides music. I don't know, it just always captivated me right from the beginning. Like as soon as I jumped into it, like it was no like stopping me. Like I feel like music is really my calling.
Got you.
So
Very cool. So I really enjoyed your interview that you had on Album 88 with Jameer. And
mhm.
during one of your responses, you were saying how you feel like in the industry there's like a lot of sharks. And so I wanted to ask you what you meant by that because there's a lot of young people who want to get into the industry, but they don't really know kind of, what it all entails or what to expect. And so I wanted to know from your perspective, what do you mean by that?
Um, I meant that, it's just people who are really in this industry and they're really conducting business. And when you're conducting business, like personal feelings, you know what I'm saying, they get pushed away to the side and people don't really care about how you personally feel. Like, I feel like everybody does what's in the best interest of them, you know what I'm saying, whether it's good business or it's bad business,
Hmm.
and I just feel like coming into it, you have to be mindful that there are people, yeah, you have people who, really care about your well-being and care about you and just you progressing, but then you have people too who are, just doing business and, it's nothing personal against you. They just trying to, get to the money.
Right.
And you have to just always keep that in mind. Like you can never, especially in music, you can never wear your heart on your sleeve like with these people because, everybody just wants to be on top. And I don't take it personally, you know what I'm saying? But I feel like if you were new and fresh and coming into it, you would. You know
Okay.
what I mean? Because it's like, wow, nobody really like cares how I feel or anything. It's like they're not supposed to.
what do you feel like you know now about being an artist and being in the industry that you wish that you would have known when you started out at 12?
I guess I could say maybe just experiencing like people saying one thing and then doing another. I feel like before you go into business with someone, you have to know that like they're really in it for the best interest of you and that you guys are both working towards a common goal. I feel like because if you're doing business or you're in business with people who are, for self, like it doesn't work. You know what I mean? And if you guys are trying to build something, you can't build if that person is not 100%, in your dream. And I just feel like that's what it takes, like with anything. You just have to make sure that the people that, I wish I would have known that the people that, you do business with, you just have to keep in mind that it's not like personal, no matter how personal they may try to make it seem,
Right, so separating business from pleasure or business from
pleasure. Definitely.
On a clear line. That makes sense. I wanted to know from you, I know that I'm sure you probably get asked all the time, what happened to the OMG Girlz, but I want to know, what do you feel like is like a misconception about girl groups, and then especially like if they do break up, because a lot of people think that it's like some sort of like, hardships or they don't like each other, and I just wanted to know from you, what's the reality of that?
Well, I feel like any type of breakup, whether it's a relationship, a group, a business, a friend, whatever, like it is difficult because it's something that you're so comfortable with, it's something that you're used to, and you guys are breaking up. So, things may get uncomfortable and people may have, different feelings, but I feel like the biggest misconception is that it always ends negatively. Right. And it doesn't. And for me, with my group, like at first, when it first happened, it seemed negative. You know what I mean? Of course it did, because I've been an OMG girl since I was 12, and now I'm coming up on 18. I'm not an OMG girl anymore. Right. So it was uncomfortable, but I feel like just moving forward with it, like it really wasn't anything that I gave from that experience was positive, even if it was something negative. Like I turned it into a positive, and I really, really learned a lot from just that entire situation. So I was, I feel like people always say like, just because we're girls, period, like they feel like, oh, it's catty, it's messy, it's like, it's not, it's just, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like it's just catty and messy, like. And for us, like, we may have argued, we may have got into it, but we're all still cool, we're still friends, and, no matter what we experience and go through in our friendship, like, that'll never change the way that we really feel about each other. We love each other, we did something positive together that put us all in a better position to, catapult what we're doing right now, which is our solo stuff. So it all ends up working out for the better, and I just like people always think like, oh, they're not cool, it's negative, like it happened this way. Like, no, it's just, people get older and people do different things, and people want to experience other things.
Right. And so, can you talk to me about the progression between It Gets Better and your EP Love, and how is it associated with like where you are at now in your life between the two?
Well, I feel like with It Gets Better, that was me just trying out different sounds and really just experimenting with like my pen and my writing and my lyricism. And I just feel like from there to Love, like I grew a lot as a person, you know what I mean? And like just as a solo artist and the things I experienced. So when I did come with Love, it was more so I had lived a little bit more of life, I guess. Like it was like a year really before I had put out anything, right. And at that time, the whole 2016, I was just experiencing so much with just love and my career and friendships and, things of that nature. So I felt like that was really the last time for me to like put out something that was about other people, because the new music that I'm making now is a bit more empowering for myself.
Okay.
And I just like the progression between both was just really my pen, what I was doing sonically, and just lyrics-wise, I was able to express myself better. I was able to get across what I wanted to get across better, and I feel like with Love, it gets better. Like Love had more of a direction. I feel like it gets better. Was again just kind of me experimenting and trying new things out. I was like fresh out the groove
Yeah.
and that sort of thing. So the progression is definitely there. I feel like the next project that I come with, it'll be something even better than that, of course. But
Right.
that's just all a part of like progressing, and that's pretty much how it goes.
Okay. And so, why the name Love?
I chose Love because actually my best friend, she's also my photographer, Exquisite Eyes. She was over here at my house, and I was telling her that I wanted to drop an EP with just love songs on it. I didn't know what to call it, so we're like looking at all these names and stuff, and she like types in love, but it was spelled Luv. And so when she typed it in, the definition for that was an informal atmosphere, and I just felt like that was perfect because everything like at my in that point in my life, it was very informal, and like nothing's ever been normal with my life. Like I've always been in a group, on the road, or working, or doing something, and like with my love life, it's never been just formal. It's always something, which is not negative or anything, but that's really how I felt about it. So I felt like the name was just perfect for how I was feeling at the time.
And so I see from your Instagram, I was stalking your Instagram, and I see that you're making it like a visual experience. So can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Well, it's actually like a short film, and it was shot and directed by this guy named John Deere and my best friend Exquisite. And it's pretty much just like my whole take on like what the EP would be. It's definitely a story. It actually has like a real plot. It's super dope. We're really excited about it. I'm really excited about it. And I think everybody's really going to enjoy it too. I feel like the film, it ties everything together, and it kind of makes the project a little bit more like realistic for the person who's listening. Like you could actually put a visual with the project, and it was just really cool to like do a video to every song and like make it all tie in together and really make it seem like like a movie. Like it was dope. So I had a good time with it, and we're all really excited about it coming out.
Okay, so when can we expect to see it?
Wow. Yeah, it's like super soon. I always say super soon, but no, super soon. I'm just trying to still get the last few touches on it. I have the final cut, so I'm just like doing the beautification and stuff like that. Once all that's done, it'll be out. So I would say like the next week, 2 weeks.
Okay. Very cool. What advice would you have for someone who's interested in, becoming a singer, a rapper, an artist? How should they, start out, and get people to be exposed to their content?
I think that you should definitely just put out a lot of good, meaningful content, no matter if it's pictures or music or anything like that. You should just make sure that your content is of good quality. And I feel like people will be drawn to it. I think the biggest thing is, it really honestly is quality over quantity. Don't put out a lot of stuff and all of it's not up to par. Like if you're going to put out things back to back to back, you have to make sure that everything is making sense with your entire brand or your entire like project that you're trying to get people to see and be interested in. You know what I mean? So just always remember that you have to make sure that your product is of quality in order for people to want to get involved and pay attention.
Okay. And so, also on top of that, I wanted to know, would you recommend that people try to go independent, or should they shoot for being a part of a label?
I feel like it just depends on what type of person you are. For me, I feel like independent is like, it's what's best, it's what works for me, because now I feel like personally you don't really need a label. Like if you just get hot on the internet, you gain all those connections, and all of the people who you want to get in touch with, they start to hit you up personally. So there's no need for that barrier. But I do feel like that labels work well for certain artists. Like you have really big artists who have really big deals and they work for them. So I feel like it just depends on the person, really.
What makes you a young mogul and someone who is changing the game?
I think what makes me a young mogul is that I know that like I'm not at my 100%. I think that's very important. I feel like a lot of people really don't want to say, okay, like I'm not all the way there yet. I feel like being conscious of like where you're at
Mm-hmm.
and being conscious of where you're trying to go, that makes a difference. Like that separates a mogul from somebody who just becomes a worker. Because if you already think, oh, I'm there, and you're complacent with, what you're doing, you're never going to get better. But if you have a bigger mindset, you have bigger dreams, you have bigger goals that you're trying to achieve, and you're aware that you're not there yet, you know what I mean? That separates you from the rest of the pack. Like you have self awareness. I think that's really what makes me just a mogul. Really, I'm aware of myself. I'm aware of my process. I'm aware of what's happening around me, and I'm aware of how to make it better.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I'm doing. So that's what separates me.
Yes. And so, where can everybody find you out on Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube?
My Instagram and my Twitter are both the same at Bahja Rodriguez, BahjaRodriguez. And if you want to just figure out everything, my YouTube, SoundCloud, all of that good stuff, you can go to my website, www.bahjarodriguez.co. And it pretty much just has everything on there. All my music is available on Apple Music, Pandora, iTunes, Amazon, Google Play. Everywhere you can buy and stream music, my music is there. So, you could go listen and check it out.
Very dope. Well, thank you so much for
Thank
chatting
you.
with us.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
Of course.